Hello everyone, today I'm here to do another tag video. This is going to be a very kind of interactive type of tag, a very different tag, a very unique tag. It is called the Try a Chapter tag, and it was created by Books Paradise, and I'll link her down below. And I saw this a while ago on Max's channel, Well Done Books, and I thought the idea of this sounds really awesome, and it just is very intriguing and interesting, and I definitely want to do it. Yeah, basically what this tag is about, pick 5 or more books that have been on your shelf for a while or that you're thinking about reading, and basically you're going to read the first chapter in each one of those books and decide what book you're going to read next. So I thought this would be like an interactive way of like, what book am I going to read next? We're going to do this together, you and me. We're going to figure out what books I like. So basically, I've already picked out the 5 books. I'm going to show you what those books are. I'm going to read the first chapters, let you know what I thought about each of those chapters, and decide which book I want to read first, which book I want to read second, and which books maybe I'm not even interested in at all. It's an awesome tag. So I'm going to show you the 5 books I picked out. So the majority, 3 of these books have been on my shelf for a while, and 2 are relatively new to my TBR shelf. So the first one is A Man Called Ove by a man called Ovi, or I pronounce that wrong every time. It's Frederick Bachman, I want to say. I pronounced that so wrong, I apologize, but this one's been on my shelf for a while, and I know I will read it. I just know this book's going to wreck me, so that's why I'm hesitant. The next book is The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes. Then the newer type of one is The Season by Jonah Lisa Dyer and Stephanie Dyer. And another relatively old one that's been on my shelf for a while is Writers by Veronica Rossi. And a newer one is The Reader by Tracy Chee. I do have kind of a TBR kind of set for October, like, you know, kind of darker books. So I wanted to read a couple of these before that. So anyway, basically I'm going to read them in the order that I showed you. So the first step we have is A Man Called Ove. I don't know. I'll be right back to let you know what I thought about this. Okay, so I read the first chapter and it was like super small. Like I want to say like maybe 3 pages. That's how small it was. It was 4 pages. And basically it was about him going into a computer store, trying to get a computer, and you know, he's kind of your typical kind of old grumpy man, but he's 59, so he's not like really old by any means, but you definitely tell the type of tone this book has, and I really liked reading that first chapter. I really want to continue this on, so it's already high on my list, even though it's the first one I've read. But I think I would read this sooner, but I know this, I've heard so many amazing things about this book and how it just breaks your heart, so that's the only reason I'm hesitant about it. But yeah, this one so far, A+ for me for the first chapter, so we'll have to see how the others fare. The next one I'm going to read the first chapter of is The Girl You Left Behind, and I will be right back. The first chapter of this one was 13 pages, and I really liked it. This is all about it takes place in 1916, about a girl named Sophie who must keep her family safe while her husband is out fighting the front, and it's all about a painting that the Germans kind of see while she is, you know, taking care of her hotel and stuff. And the first chapter is just a little glimpse into it. I didn't love the first chapter as much as I wanted to, but with JoJo Moyes books, I quickly learned that I think I just like anything she writes, so I'm not wary about reading this at all. I liked the first chapter. It just gave you a tiny glimpse of what was to come, like a very brief glimpse, but I didn't hate the first chapter by any means. But you know, 1916, I'm not too amazing with historical books, but I'm trying to get better. I still will definitely read this. I'd say I didn't love the first chapter as much as A Man Called Ove, and I feel like that chapter was only like 3 pages long, so what can you do? So the next one I'm going to read is The Season, and of course, again, I'll be right back. Okay, and I am back, and I read the first chapter of this. This is all about, just to let you know, this is all about 2 twins that get entered into a debutante type of season or ball. I forget exactly what it is. One twin's very interested in it. The other twin, obviously, as you can see, she wears cleats, is really not into it. So we're following her. I don't know if we follow both sisters, but in the first chapter we followed her and her finding out that her mom has entered her in this debutante, and she's not happy about it because she loves playing sports and she does not know anything about it. This read like a typical contemporary book, in which I loved it. I love contemporary books, so it's no secret that I did like the first chapter of this one, and I will read it. I just don't. I'm trying to, you know, be diverse a little bit with my reading, so I'm kind of like wary about picking this one up soon because I have read 2 contemporaries like kind of back to back in August, so I gotta, you know, I gotta slow down with my contemporaries. Writers by Veronica Rossi. This has been on my shelf for a a hot minute. It really has. I will be right back. I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. It's very interesting. I've been interested in this book for a while, and I don't know why I haven't read this. It does, I don't know, every time I think about this book, I'm like kind of saving it for autumn, but I think I might read this at the tail end of September. Basically, this is about a boy named Gideon who is recovering from the accident that most definitely killed him. He finds that he has these new powers and a cuff that he cannot take off of his wrist, and he learns death has brought him to life to his real destiny. He has become War, one of the 4 legendary horsemen of the apocalypse, which is awesome. The first chapter was him like kind of being tied up. In the end, he was like, "You have no idea who I am. I am War. I am War." So it sounds really interesting. The very first chapter was just like kind of a teaser, if you will. I don't know. This first chapter was really good. I really enjoyed it. And the last book we'll be reading is The Reader by Tracy Cheese. So again, I'll be right back. And I read this first chapter, and I did, again, really enjoy it. It's kind of, again, like a teaser type of interesting thing. This is all about a world where books are pretty much extinct. Nobody really knows how to read. The alphabet's kind of, people have just learned how to tell stories through their mouths and just talk about them time and over again. And it's about this girl that finds an object from her dad that is in the shape of a book. So this first chapter was really good. I wouldn't say it was like my ultimate favorite out of these 5, but I still really liked it. So let's sum it up of what book I'm going to read first and various. So I think I'm going to put the season last on my list. I definitely do want to read this, but I'm going to put it last on my list because books like this I know I can read in 3 days, so I don't know even why I put it in this pile, but maybe we'll just make a TBR for myself in this video. But this is going to go last on my list. We'll just go to the first one. So the first one I think I will be reading is, I don't know, I'm having a hard time. I think it's either going to be one of these 2. It depends what I'm in the mood for. Am I in the mood for a heartbreaking, heartwarming type of book, or am I in the mood for like a very brutal type of dystopian type of book, which I don't know. Right now, I mean, it's hard to say. I hired Storm, so I'm in this epic high fantasy type of genre, so I might go with this one. So it's a toss-up between these 2, honestly. I'll just have to see what my mood calls for in these next couple of days, and of course you'll see it on Goodreads. Right after that, I'm going to put The Girl You Left Behind because I'm very interested in this one, and I definitely want to read one more JoJo Moyes books before the year is over, and I think this will be that one. And then right after that one, I think I'm going to put The Reader. I definitely want to read this one very, very soon because I did a video of a tag all about it, so I definitely want to read it soon, and the end will be the season. So I did like all of these first chapters of these books. None of them really were like struck me as I can't finish reading this. I did enjoy all of them, but we'll just have to see which one I read first. I don't know. I feel like my heart's kind of calling me to this one right at this particular moment because I'm just very interested. The first chapter was very, very compelling. If you like this tag and want to try it out yourself, please do consider yourself tagged. I think this is a great way to like kind of see what book you want to read next of picking 5 books and then reading each of the chapters, because it definitely did really help me narrow down which one I wanted to read out of those. So I'm glad I did that. So to Books Paradise for making this awesome video. I think it's a great idea that she came up with, and I thought it was just awesome. So if you like this video, try it out for yourself. Tell me, what 5 books you're going to do in the comments, and tell me which book you're going to start reading next, because I would love to know, because I think it's just a really unique and awesome idea. So be sure to leave me in the comments your 5 books you're going to read the first chapters of, and which one you're going to stick with, and which one you're going to not be done with, or just your order of ones that you're going to read. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I